is there on the internet, it has to be, it has to have IP address, right? Otherwise, it cannot communicate. We represent IP addresses there. So basically, there are two categories or two versions of IP address available. One is IPv4, which is a 32-bit address. Normally, we represent it as 192.168.1.10, and so they are basically 4 octets, each represented by a decimal number. Otherwise, for your computer, it is always binary, right? So it's a 32-bit address. So basically, 32 bits are there, and they can take any value between 1 and 0, and that is what your IP address is for your machine. But for your humans, so that we can read it and speak it, we represent it as a decimal form. IPv6 is a 128 hexadecimal IP address. So this is the next version. Probably it is expected that IPv4 will get exhausted someday, because there are only limited number of IPv4 addresses, and that's why we created IPv6, so that it can take over. Still, the handover is not done. Still, we are on IPv4, but maybe in some time in future it will change. IP address helps us to identify the device on the network, route the data from one system to other. It acts like a postal address, and ensure each device can send and receive information correctly. Okay, so these are the main roles. Types of IP address, we have a private IP concept, public IP concept, static IP concept, and dynamic IP concept. So we will read more about these when we will cover our networking fundamentals. But in short, of the entire pool of IP addresses, we have taken few IP addresses and said that these set of IP addresses will never be allocated to public systems. Okay, so you will not find those IP addresses available in public domain. Those IP addresses we use within our offices, within our homes, and they are known as private IP addresses. The remaining IP addresses are available publicly. So when you connect your device to, say, Airtel, ISP or someone, from there you will get an IP address. That IP address is actually publicly reachable. Okay, so that is called a public IP. Static IP is something that you assign manually to your systems. We just discussed about DHCP. So when you obtain a IP address from DHCP, it is known as dynamic because it can change. Okay, it does not remain the same unless you have purposefully configured it in that manner. The reason of using, so we will just see that part also. Hostname is nothing but